So let's take a look at the basics of cloud computing, right? So the cloud is on everybody's lips these days, but what exactly does it really mean? So it turns out there's a simple and clear definition of, right? The US National Institute of Technology created this, right? So it's not really anything specific, but cloud computing is a way of using information technology, right? So it has 5 important traits. First, you get computing resources on demand and self-service. And all you have to do is use a simple interface and you get the processing power, storage, networking, and then no need for human intervention, right? Second, you access these resources over the internet anywhere you want. Third, the provider of those resources has a big pool of those hardware resources and allocate to clients, right? That allows the provider to get economies of scale by buying in bulk and pass on the savings to the customers. And customers don't have to know, or they don't have to care about the physical location of those hardware servers, right? Or data centers. The resources are elastic, so if you need more additional resources, you can get them rapidly. And if you need less, you can scale them down, okay? The client or the customer really have to pay only what they want, pay as they go. So if you stop using resources, you actually stop paying. And that's really what the definition of cloud is all about. But how do we actually get here, right? Why is this model so compelling these days? You understand that why we need to look at a certain bit of history. So the first wave of trend that actually brought us here was co-location, which IT shops have been doing for decades. So instead of building costly, capital-intensive data centers, they can rent space and shared facilities and frees up capital and use that money somewhere else. So in the first decade of the 2000s, the IT department, for example, the efficiency drove them to virtualization or virtual machines or virtual data centers, right? And maybe in certain situation, a hybrid infrastructure. But now the virtual devices run separately are different from the underlying hardware, right? So virtualization lets you use the resources more efficiently, and just like co-location, it allows you to be more flexible as well. So with virtualization, right, you can still, maintain the infrastructure. So you're still in the business of guessing how much hardware you will actually need when setting it all up and keeping it all running. About 8 or 10 years ago, right, platforms such as Amazon or Google, they realized that the virtualization model is really switching now towards the elastic and more flexibility, right? In terms of automation and moving towards away from the virtualization, right? Or going forward. Cloud itself today would automatically provision any of these services for you, right? Whether it's Google, whether it's AWS, and they're spending millions and millions of dollars into providing these kind of services to enterprise companies, right? Or to you, so you can make your life easier. So every company, think about it, is basically a data company, right? So if I'm working for the organization, it's a data company regardless of size. So different industries have different companies, right? Healthcare industry, the fintech space, or manufacturing, but in reality, it's just data, right? So every company will become data company if it's already not one already, right? So the GCP cloud or the Google Cloud Compute Cloud provides, the infrastructure for you to take your data and use the resources that Google offers or AWS offers, okay? So IaaS, like infrastructure as a service or platform as a service, and all of these are buzzwords, but what they really mean is that they're simply serving you for all of the requirements that you have and what you need. So, and that's the idea. They also provide software. For example, AWS has AMIs, right? So when you spin up an instance, for example, or set up a server, it actually gives you the entire software that comes with it, right? Pre-built software even. So you can customize that software, or you can just pick up and spin up a server with already having installed Python, for example, or other libraries, and so on. So the cloud really takes a lot of the work away from enterprise companies, freeing up your time to focus on your core business value. And that's really what cloud computing is all about, and that's why enterprise companies are moving towards cloud, and they're adopting platforms like AWS, Google Cloud. They're also looking into Red Hat OpenShift, right? IBM Bluemix. So all of these are enterprise level platforms that provide you all of these tools and services. So I hope this helps. Just wanted to get out of the way the basic definition of what a cloud is. If you have any questions, post in the discussion area. We'll be happy to help. With this, let's move to the next lesson.